All right, we're going to be looking at Unit 8, Acids and Bases. So in this introduction, some of the stuff may sound familiar from Honors Chem, or if you just had General Chem as well. So we've got things that are an acid. You might notice things that have an acid, they start with an H quite often. And our proton, H plus, is what we think of as what really moves around. And then you got what left over, the conjugate base. You remember that from intros to acids and bases back in the day. Now the equilibrium constant, our Ka for acid, is that you have the products over the reactants, and you've got your ion set over the concentration of the acid itself. H place may be written in its hydrated form, H3O+. However, I think AP does often use just the H+, so maybe you should as well. You'll see it in a variety of forms, whether in your reading or in these lectures. So water ionizes itself. It comes together and transfers a proton, making hydronium and hydroxide. See, there's hydronium it is. Because if you put HOH, then you're like, wait, 2? So this is a good example of why hydronium would make sense to write and show. Now, at 25 degrees, the concentrations are equal, and you can see they're very small. So a very small amount of hydronium and hydroxide exist in water. Now, this number you can see is pretty tiny, -7. This will make more sense when we look at Ka values and seeing that strong acids have much higher ones, of course, but of course, in equilibrium values, this means not much products. Now, that means the constant of water is then times together, 1 times 10 to the 14th. I believe this is on your reference sheet. It's pretty much well-known stuff. You'll be doing a lot of these different types of calculations, so get used to the idea that the acidity counters the alkalinity. Yes, alkalinity for that, or the basic. Now, these should say note, these values at other temperatures, not these values at other temperatures, since temperatures shift equilibrium to make more product. So at higher temperatures, this value is going to be different. An increase in temperature creates an increase in the Kw due to that shift. There's always going to be a question that's going to be asking you about the equilibrium amount, the Kw. However, keep in mind, that just means these values change. The concentrations change. So at 25 degrees Celsius, they're equal. They're still going to be equal at all concentrations due to the fact, if you have this occur, you get equal concentrations stoichiometrically here, but this value will change itself. Okay. Otherwise, though, if this value is different and they say the hydronium's this, what's the hydroxide, or what's either, you just take the square root of it. So don't get thrown off with this, but be careful reading when it's at a different temperature. Most of our calculations and things will not deal with it at anything else but 25 degrees Celsius. So calculating. pH is the negative log with a base 10. It just says log on your calculator. Get used to knowing where those are. pOH, it's the same idea. These added together equal 14. So this can be a helpful little handy thing that if you know the pOH and it's 6, you can know this is 8, and then you can do your calculations to get your hydronium, which of course are sometimes questions they ask about, sometimes they're given. This set of equations, which I think is summarized here, all comes together to get you those ideas. So if you have the hydronium and you need to get the hydroxide, boom, you can throw it in, get your hydroxide. If you have the hydroxide and you need your pOH, negative log of the hydroxide, pOH. If you had to get from here to here, 2 steps, boom, boom, or you can go this way and then that way. All of this is the same idea, same equation, just rearranged. Again, when you think of equations like these, I wouldn't take the time to, memorize all of these because it's easy to get them confused, switched, mixed. Just have the relationships down. Okay? Just have the idea that these equal 14. To get these, you do the anti-log. To get these, you get the log. And you should be able to handle it from there, especially after a little bit of practice. All right, and that'll be it. Come in with any kind of questions and take care.